Angeline Pompei found it challenging to learn languages as an adult, so she devised her own system, Learn English Fast, and it's now available to the world so others can learn with the methods that worked for her. The Bilingual Book Company is her creation, and she's here to talk about that today, so welcome.
Thank you.
So I guess take us back to how you created this and why you decided to start the Bilingual Book Company.
Okay, so I originally studied aerospace engineering. I have an aerospace engineering degree. I went on to get my teaching certification, so I have the certification to teach English as a second language. And as a language learner, I found that there was a problem in the way language is being taught today. Right now, I find that there are a lot of teaching methods, but there aren't enough teaching materials to practice a foreign language. So for myself, I was learning Spanish and French.
Okay.
And I was just simply looking for bilingual books to read so I can practice on a day-to-day basis. And I couldn't find that. So I started to create my own material, which was just line-by-line translation. So in my case, English-Spanish, English-French. And I started to make bilingual books. So it kind of evolved from that. And I went a step further, and I created the bilingual audio. So I have artificial voices, which I use so I can hear an authentic English and Spanish, English-French speaker with the text. So I can follow along with the text with those artificial voices.
So, yeah, and that's important to hear it as well
yes,
as kind of read
exactly,
it
because you need to hear the language on a daily basis if you really want to absorb that language and gain fluency.
Sure. So what makes your platform different than some of the other language learning systems that are out there?
So what really makes it unique is that it's built on the concept of interest-based learning. So I don't know about you, but I can't do anything on a daily basis if I don't like it, right? And especially for children, we don't want to force education. We want them to be self-starters. We want them to love reading. So it was really important to me to make a variety of books for children to choose from. So we want them to choose topics that they're interested in, to be fully engaged so that they want to practice language every day.
Yeah, okay. And then what about adults? And what is the difference between adults? I've always heard it's easier to pick up a language when you're young. Is that what you're finding?
Well, the difference is adults don't have time. So we have to incorporate language learning into our leisure time, into our everyday habits. And so the Bilingual Book Company is really an extension of Learn English Fast, which is what I started last year or a few years ago. And I think that adults should learn English just as children do naturally with books and music, or in this case, bilingual books and music. And I found that there wasn't enough music out there for adult learning. So what I did is I created 16 songs for learning English, and they're based on verb conjugation. So if you listen to any of the songs, you would think that it's just a normal song. But if you download the lyrics from my website, you'll see that each song has a vocabulary or a verb theme. So for example, my rock song is called I Couldn't. So it sounds like a breakup song or a love song. But if you listen to the lyrics, you'll hear I couldn't, I could, I shouldn't throughout the song.
I couldn't sing a verse. I shouldn't continue to hurt. I could love again. I should love again. I can follow my dreams, but maybe you could be there loving me.
So it's based on the modal verbs. Can, could, should, and then negation, couldn't and shouldn't. So if someone were to listen to the lyrics or read the lyrics first, download the music from Apple Music, Spotify, whatever streaming platform they use, and memorize it, you're actually learning vocabulary, verbs, and conjugation.
Okay.
So I started studying memory champions and how they remember a complicated string of numbers or names, and they always said that they created a story. And the more extreme or interesting the story, the better. So I thought to myself, what better way to learn language than with music? Because ultimately, a memory is a moment of time that made you feel something. And music is the perfect tool because music makes us feel. So by creating an experience and hearing music and associating a time and a place with music, it helps you absorb the language in that moment of time.
So what are your top 3 tricks or
Tricks?
for learning a language?
Okay, well, I would say number 1, you need exposure on a daily basis. That's why the interest-based learning is crucial. You need to listen to that language, you need to read on a daily basis. Secondary, like I said, you want to passively learn when you're going to work, or some people can listen to music while they work. That's why I think music is an excellent tool for learning a language. And then finally, I just don't think you can escape it. I don't think we should look for the easy way out. I think we need to study our grammar, our vocabulary once a week. And aside from that, just try to incorporate that in our lifestyle on a daily basis.
Yeah, the daily basis I think is key.
Yeah, because everybody says that, you know, just do it 10 minutes a day, but we say it in a form that it's work, and it shouldn't be work.
Yeah.
It should be integrated into, maybe if you're reading with your child at nighttime, it should be integrated in an activity that's pleasurable.
Yeah. What are some elements that are necessary in a program for language learning for children?
It's necessary to keep their attention. And, you know, adults as well. I think the statistics say we have the attention span of goldfish these days, 3 seconds. So that's why having a variety of books was crucial. And for children that need that extra push, I do have a character series coming out in November. So you can look out for that. And so it just has a character that kind of takes them on a journey. So yeah, it's just the engagement that's very important for children.
What are the trends that you're seeing? Do you find more children are learning languages and adults as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So outside of North America, there is a need and there is, I wouldn't say an urgency, but there's a demand for learning English because English is the international language of business and technology. So we're moving into a bilingual or multilingual world. Countries like the Philippines, for example, truly bilingual country, there's a lot of opportunities for Filipinos to work online. And so a lot of them don't have to leave their culture, their family, you know, just to survive, you know, for financial purposes.
And you're right about English. I remember I was in Turkey and there was a Turkish guy and an Indian guy talking in English. That was how they communicated with each other. And I was like, oh, this is the language that everybody communicates in.
However, I would like to mention though, with that trend evolving, I think North Americans will be at a disadvantage at some point because the best businesses will be formed speaking to locals. And so there's a lot of opportunities missed if you don't speak now a second language. You know, I myself, a lot of my seed audience comes from Mexico. So I went to Mexico and I asked the locals like what their needs are and can they afford my product? My product's $29 for the year. And I asked below average income families, like, would you be able to afford this? And they said yes.
How can people find out more about this and learn more about the program and buy books? Where can they go for that?
Well, they can visit the bilingualbookcompany.com. It has all the information there. And yeah, that's probably your best source.
Okay. Angeline, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Heart surgeons are important because they save lives. Los cirujanos cardíacos son importantes porque salvan vidas.